Hey everyone, Josh Rugger, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff from the house. Having some issues with the internet. I don't know what's going on, Josh. So if it starts lagging really bad and you're seeing my mouth moving and it's looking like a bad dubbed video, then what we're going to do is we're just going to pass it on over to you, and you're going to do the updates until this. And there it goes again. The internet is
It's just
really
being
struggling.
sus. It's being
What is going
super
on?
sus this morning. Yes.
Yeah,
It must know there's severe weather this afternoon because, of course, it goes down when there's severe weather.
yeah.
That's how it
Of
always
course, of
works.
course. All right, I'm gonna have you run through the updates from the weather lab. I'm
Mhm.
gonna we'll answer some questions. I know we're gonna have a lot of questions, and there's gonna be a lot of people asking what's going on. The line is, and there we go again.
Here
Boy,
we go.
man, I did not have these issues yesterday. Yeah, so come on, AT&T, you got this. Fiber broadband, let's go. I'm not
Here you go,
plugged into
Josh
the router,
Wazel.
and unfortunately, the Wi-Fi is
Yeah,
having a
Wi-Fi.
case of the Mondays. Hopefully, the weather has a case of the Mondays and like doesn't want to show up. That'd be nice in terms of the storms. Um,
Please.
Jeff asks, "What's for dinner?" Well, we've been pounding down these deviled eggs here that we've had from Easter Sunday. Here's one of them right here.
Double egg mode
So on
activated.
that note, Josh, cheers to the
Cheers.
deviled egg that my daughter
Cheers.
made. And you got your water. I've got my water as well. Cheers. All right, let's take us through the rundown. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Brittany says her headache is telling her something is in the air. There's a lot of humidity. There's a lot of a mugginess. And so, Josh, take us through the rundown here.
All right, let's get rocking and rolling right now. So, first of all, I want to show you the latest severe weather risk that we got going on here in Northwest Arkansas. And stand by for just a moment. We're going to pull that up full screen here. Oh,
I
hold
got
on. Let's see what's going on there. All right, there we go. Now we're up to full screen. So, this is the latest SPC severe weather outlook. This was released about a couple hours ago, and if you were watching earlier this morning, we had that level 3 to 5 enhanced risk of severe weather over Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Really not a whole lot of changes to that. Now, you notice the timing. We've got 4 p.m. through 2 a.m. I would say the timing's more now 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. It does look like the system's going to come in a little bit later than maybe what the models were indicating earlier. It looks like this is going to be more of an evening threat here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And as we've been mentioning over the last several days, all modes of severe weather are possible. Now, yesterday, if you were watching our weather live stream, you saw that we had a low threat for tornadoes in Northwest Arkansas. Well, that's not the case this morning. The Storm Prediction Center decided to go ahead and upgrade areas along and north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Really, you just divide Interstate 40 and go north, and that's where you see that medium to significant chance for tornadoes. And again, this has been a pretty big uptrend compared to yesterday in terms of that tornado threat. And I think a big reason why that is because the models are starting to pick up on that low-level wind shear kicking up during the evening hours. So before we get to sunset, we're not going to have the best ingredients in place for tornado potential in Northwest Arkansas. In fact, I think because we have such a lowly sheared environment early on in the event, that's why the hail risk is going to be so high here in NWA. So that's why we've been talking about guerrilla hail potential over the last several days. If we moved on to that hail threat, you could see, yeah, we got a hashed area across the entire KNWA Fox 24 coverage area. Again, this is going to be the main threat with this system. So while the tornado potential is increasing, hail remains the main concern, at least something that we have the most confidence in right now. And similar to a few weeks ago, we could see giant hailstones. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 3-4 inch hail reports in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. I can't stress this enough, though, and I said this a few weeks ago as well when we had that big hail potential. Not everybody is going to see big, giant hail here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. It's going to be 1, 2, or 3 locations, but that's why you need to be prepared. That's why you need to be weather aware, because you want to be caught off guard by this. You don't want to have a windshield that's smashed out by this hail. So the entire KNWA Fox 24 coverage area is under that high risk for large hail. That includes the River Valley as well. A couple weeks ago, it was just Northwest Arkansas. Now the River Valley is included in that large hail threat. And of course, as we go throughout the evening hours, these storms are going to become a little bit more linear. So that's why you can see that high damaging wind threat. Again, wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour also possible. So again, all modes of severe weather possible, but all these different threats are starting to increase as more high resolution data comes in. And Dan, as more sunshine starts to pop up here in Northwest Arkansas. because that's one thing that we've been noticing this morning. And if you trusted the models, and we don't trust the models one bit, that's for sure.
Nope.
It should have been raining by now. It should have been raining by now, but we haven't seen a drop of rain here in Northwest Arkansas. And, a lot of times the models take a little while to kind of catch up to that. And I'm telling you right now, it feels like a tropical beach outside. I bet Behiva Aloy is feeling right at home here in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, especially since he's been rocking it on the mount, rocking it on the in the batter's box
Yes.
over the weekend. Hey, we had a great question here. Jennifer Rose asked, "What times?" Josh, I know you've got that graphic for what times, and to kind of talk
Yes.
about that. So
Let's pull that
why
up
don't we
right
go ahead
now.
and we'll
So
bring that up.
yes, so I can pull that up right now. So this is the map that I made early this morning. Now there will probably be a few more adjustments to this with the latest information that's coming in, but I do think the vast majority of us are going to see these showers and storms move through between about 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. and really along the I-49 corridor. I think after 9 o'clock is going to be the sweet spot for more widespread rain. But I do think this is going to be a pretty long-lasting severe weather threat here in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. You notice some far eastern portions of the western coverage area, especially towards Harrison, Jasper, Clarksville. Those locations, we could have severe weather potential all the way up till 2 o'clock a.m. So we're expecting a long night here in the Weather Lab. Again, all modes of severe weather will be possible. I will say this. The farther east you go in our weather coverage area, the lower that severe weather potential is going to be with this particular storm system. That's just because it's going to be losing some steam as it shifts off to the east. There's not as favorable parameters located in these areas. But that being said, all of us have the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. I just think the farther west you go, especially the farther north and west you go, up towards northeast Oklahoma, southwest Missouri, Benton County, these areas right here are going to have the best chance for significant severe weather. Not to say that, areas in Madison and Newton County can't have significant severe weather, but I do think the main highest in risk is going to be in far northwestern Arkansas, especially along and north of Interstate 40. So that's our latest timing there. Again, might have to make a few adjustments to this because the models are kind of shifting those storms a little bit later on in the evening, which actually might not be a good thing because, as I just mentioned, that low-level jet's really going to determine how much tornado potential we have. And that low-level jet doesn't kick in until the evening hours. Well, if these storms hold off until the evening, we don't have any storms that are training over those areas when we have lower in severe weather potential. Well, that means you've got all the fuel available for thunderstorms. That means you've got the parameters in place, and that can cause some big-time problems. So that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as we move throughout the day today. But, Dan, I just saw you pulled up the comment right there, and we are hoping the same thing right now in the Weather Lab. Let's hope Mother Nature remembers it's April Fool's Day. And, yeah, you make a good point there, David. We were watching a lot of, past events, looking at analogs, looking at events in the past, and these are very similar to some events. I know Dan and I were talking about the Arkadelphia tornado from 1997. That was a positively tilted trough. You had the southwesterly component and everything to it. There's a lot of things that are, kind of lining up there. But again, we're just hoping that, maybe those smaller scale details don't line up and we could dodge another bullet here. I do know that Colby Ward is going to be up in southeast Kansas today. So if those storms do shift south and push through northwest Arkansas, well, we know exactly who to blame there. So just going ahead and get a heads up in there.
Josh.
Yes, sir.
Just got a text from the boss, and he said, "What time are you coming in tonight?"
I'm probably coming in around 6.
6. Okay, but you haven't even gotten any sleep, so you got to be. I know we'll be shutting this down here pretty soon. Let's make it a little bit later. Let's make it like 7:30.
All right, 7:30 it is. 7:30. Yeah, burning both ends of the candle. That's what it is right there. But I got a living situation.
I know the feeling. I stayed up for the day one Convective Outlook and posted that, and I was like, "Oh,
Yep.
hatched area."
Yep.
It's a big change, and I get it because of the, you've got the low level jet that's kicking in. I will say this, that the energy is swinging in all at once too, so the forcing is going to be there. Mitchell Meyer said, sounds like the Baja Blast needs to be issued. Let me go ahead and tell him.
Dan, I would upgrade that to a warning. These are like winter storm warnings. This is a full-on Baja Blast warning in effect here in the Weather Lab. There is for sure going to be a Baja Blast consumed tonight. No doubt about it. Unless we get Colby affected on that. Taco Bell closes down because Colby was there. That's something that could happen. Let's see here.
Okay, so
here's a good.
I do want to show you this real quick.
Oh, yes.
Let me show you this real quick.
I saw this
before you do that.
Yeah.
This is the comp map, and Mitchell Meyer was talking about all this energy. So first of all, there's a little subtle shortwave right there. That could spark off a few isolated showers out ahead of it. But look at all this energy just waiting to be flung. So to give you the best analogy, Hagen Smith has his arm back. He's in the windup and hasn't quite thrown the ball yet. Or you've got Razorback softball, essentially, that's underhanding pitching this. And this is before the ball is released. And then the ball gets released, and then all that energy starts shifting north.
Yeah, you're getting the rise ball in softball, which, by the way, I don't know if you ever tried to hit a rise ball before, but it's pretty much impossible.
It's not easy.
Yes. That's exactly what's going on here, too. I mean, right now, all that energy is still confined off to our south and west. But, this morning, we were supposed to have shower and storm activity, but look at us right now. We don't have a lick of energy nearby northwest Arkansas at this time. Not a lick. Which makes me wonder, Dan, if we're going to continue to have those clearing skies throughout the day, especially with the strong cap that's in place right now. Certainly a possibility. And, of course, the models lag a little bit when it comes to picking up on those things. The lapse rates, too. I know you showed the lapse rates just a moment ago. We were talking about giant hail potential as well. You check this out right here. These are steep lapse rates that are in place here in northwest Arkansas. So that's why we're keeping an eye on the giant hail potential. And, we're zooming in right there so we can take a look at it. Look at that, northwest Arkansas. And then look at Texas as well. Definitely steep lapse rates right now. Very similar. Very similar to what we saw a few weeks ago, Dan. Very, very similar.
Whoa, that increased quite a bit. All this rising motion, that wasn't as much right there. Those are the 700 to 500 millibar vertical velocities. Look at all this jet energy rounding the base of the trough. Look at the dry line and the cold front. This is what you call a wide open warm sector. This will show you the dew point. Oh, my goodness. Man.
Juicy.
And we've got upper 60s that are lifting into southwest Arkansas. So we got more timing questions, and we get that. Mm-hmm. So let's get to Josh, if you want, show that timing graphic, and then let's go through some of the high-res computer models.
Absolutely. So I'm going to pull this up full here, Dan, just real quick. Oh, I got you right there. There we go. So for Bella Vista, I do think it could be maybe a little bit earlier in the Bella Vista area. I think most locations, who had that comment? Saley. I think most locations along the Interstate 49 corridor Saley are going to see these showers and storms between about 8 p.m. to midnight. I know it says 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., but usually I try to kind of go a little bit earlier just in case these thunderstorms develop, because you never know if there's going to be a couple of thunderstorms that develop out ahead of that main piece of energy. But for the Bella Vista area, for far northwestern Arkansas, I think 8 p.m. to midnight is going to be the sweet spot.
Oh, wife is calling. I'll be right back.
Calling. All right, so we're going to go through some high-resolution data right now while Dan is doing that. So I did want to show this real quick. Before we get into the future track models and everything, check out high-resolution satellite right now. First of all, you can see all that energy off to our south and west, but it's way down there right now. So this is going to take a while for all this energy to make its way into northwest Arkansas and the river valley. But look at this. We got some clearing going on. We're already seeing it in Fayetteville right now, but you can certainly see it going on in central Oklahoma at this time, folks. This is all that fuel that thunderstorms need to maintain themselves. And this is bad news right here. And Abigail had a great question, because this is what we were talking about, Abigail. I do think there is the potential for that severe weather risk to increase. I do think there is the possibility of a moderate risk. You never want to say for certain that it's going to happen. But there is that potential there for sure, especially in far northwestern Arkansas, where that low-level jet's really going to kick in later on this evening, where we're going to see those storms go over a favorable environment, an untapped environment, as long as there's no showers and storms beforehand. So a lot of things that we're watching very closely right now, and I know a lot of things that the Storm Prediction Center is watching as well. They're a whole lot smarter than me, that's for sure. And so we'll see what they do, but we're going to get another update within 20 minutes. I would be surprised if we do see an upgrade within the next 20 minutes, truth be told. I think if we are going to see that upgrade, it's going to be this afternoon with that update, and they'll put that moderate risk out. But for right now, we're under an enhanced risk. A lot of things that we're keeping an eye on. Of course, those dew points are surging to the north right now. We're in the lower to middle 60s at this time. So a lot of things that we're watching very closely. All right. I know some folks want to take a look at Future Track. So let's go ahead and look at Future Track. Now, remember, this is just one computer model. We'll go through a couple of computer models here in just a moment. But this is the HRRR, and it looks like Dan might be back right now. But we're going to go through the HRRR real quick, which, by the way, really did a poor job this morning. That is for sure. And so trying to take everything with a grain of salt. It shows complete cloud coverage in northwest Arkansas, which I just don't really buy right now. Looking at high-resolution satellite, you can see the clearing going on in central Oklahoma. But HRRR's got temperatures lower to middle 80s, dew points middle to upper 60s. That's bad news right there as those storms develop off to our west. Now, you notice here on the HRRR, it's got that line of storms moving through our area here. You can see right around 7, 8 o'clock. It has been trending a little bit later in terms of the timing, which, again, you might say, okay, that's good news because we get out of the heat of the day, but the instability is still going to be there. It's that low-level jet that's going to kick in at this point that could cause some problems and cause these little embedded spin-ups, especially if this becomes a QLCS, which I think there's actually the potential for some of these storms to stay a little semi-discreet as they move off to the east. So that's certainly something that we're going to keep an eye on there. This particular model has those storms moving along the Interstate 49 corridor at 9:30 to 10 o'clock now, so that's a little bit later than what was shown this morning. This morning it had at about 8 o'clock p.m. along I-49. So you can definitely see that later trend. Notice those temperatures still in the lower to middle 70s as that line's moving through the area. Of course, it may take a little bit longer to get to Fort Smith and the eastern portions of our weather coverage area, but eventually it's going to get to that point. I know we have Alexis on here. I'm projecting. I haven't seen Alexis on here yet. There she is. She's asking about Western Grove. So for Western Grove, Alexis, I think it's going to be a little bit later on tonight. So if you want to get the latest details, just stay up with us tonight. We're going to be here watching all these storms very closely for you. But for Western Grove, I think I'm leaning more towards 11 o'clock midnight tonight for your area out there in eastern portions of northwest Arkansas. So just stay up with us. We'll get you through this. Thankfully, I think those storms will be on a bit of a weakening trend as they get into eastern portions of weather coverage area, but still have that potential there for severe weather. So we'll get you through this. And I know. We'll be watching this very closely. We've got you covered, Alexis, and definitely hoping these storms continue to weaken as they progress off to the east. Let's see here if we got any more questions here. A lot of folks reporting some filter sunshine in Harrison. Rena's asking about Fort Smith. So Fort Smith, here's the deal. I'm going to show you this here now. Dan's not on right now, but one thing that I personally think will happen, even if we don't get an upgrade to moderate, I have a feeling that 10% tornado risk might make its way into the river valley. And the reason why I think that is because the nose of the low-level jet is actually going to be creeping in here to southeast Oklahoma along I-40. And that has my interest right now. So I would not be surprised if there was an extension southwest for that medium tornado risk. Right now, obviously, it's just northwest Arkansas, and I think that's for good reason. But I would not be surprised if that was added for Fort Smith and the I-40 corridor in southeast Oklahoma and western Arkansas. So that is something we're keeping an eye on, Rena. And of course, we'll have that update in about 20 minutes from now on what exactly is going down with that. So let's see here. I'm going to look for some more questions here. Any hope of a cat to put a literal lid on the system? Yeah, Cat, unfortunately, no. Right now, we got a giga cap in place right now in northwest Arkansas. But you saw all that energy that we were showing on that composite map that's in the desert southwest right now. That is just going to lift that lid off just like that. It's just like when you clap your fingers, bam, those storms are going to start firing off to our west, and they're going to be pushing through northwest Arkansas. So I'm not holding out any hope for that, unfortunately, with this particular storm system. And of course, when you got the cap in place like we do right now, that just allows things to build up and get more instability, and just a lot of things that I don't like with this with these trends. Bradley said it best. The hatched area means EF2 or higher, but just be weather aware today. Just be weather aware. Make sure you're following the latest trends. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. In fact, we got a couple ways you can receive warnings. First of all, got the Weather Authority app. You can find that on the Google Play and Apple App Store. If you're on your computer right now, you can also scan that QR code on your screen. It's going to take you directly to that. We're going to have all the latest updates there as well. And, of course, that's another way you can receive warnings as these storms are moving through during the evening and overnight hours tonight. But we've also got another thing that we are starting to roll out as well called Weather Call Next Gen as well. And that's something that is brand new for us. It's a way that you can receive warnings as well. And what's unique about Weather Call Next Gen is that you can set up your location and you will only get the warning if you're inside the polygon. So let's say you live in northwestern Benton County. Let's say you live in the Gentry area or somewhere around there in Bella Vista. Well, if there's a tornado warning that's issued for southwestern Benton County, right, more towards Lincoln and those areas, you're not going to get that alert because you're not within the polygon. That's what Weather Call is. That's the unique thing about Weather Call Next Gen is that you're only going to get those warnings when you're inside the polygon. You're also going to have access to up-to-the-minute phone calls, texts, and emails. So it's going to give you all the different methods to make sure that you are ready to rock and roll as we move throughout this event. Not only that, it's also going to provide you with that live radar lightning strikes. It's also going to give you the recommended safety actions as well. Again, those phone calls are going to be constantly updated, right? So they'll call you. They'll tell you, hey, this is when the tornado warning extends to. Hey, there's an update here on the tornado warning. It's going to give you all the latest details. And, of course, if you want more information on Weather Call, you can visit that website right there, weathercallservices.com/KNWA-NextGen. And if you go to that website there, it's going to give you some more details on how you can sign up for Weather Call, how you can get all those latest updates, and how you can be prepared for severe weather. I think this is a game changer. I think this is what we talk about when we say have multiple ways to receive warnings. This is another great way to receive warnings. It's a lot better than just having those phone alerts, which are usually not going to wake you up in the middle of the night. Weather Call is going to make sure you're ready to rock and roll. So I think that's a great resource that we're rolling out right now. If you just go to that website, you can find some more details and get your location set up and be ready to rock and roll this afternoon and evening, because I know we're ready to rock and roll, and we've been preparing for this over the last several days, and we're going to keep you safe with all the severe weather potential. So it looks like Dan is back here. The Chief,
Yeah.
ready to rock and roll.
So, first of all, my internet is not rocking and rolling. It is bad. So if I'm lagging, let me know. Yeah, it's like Gladiator when he's.
It is like Gladiator.
I don't know whether. So, all right, let me. I do want to mention something. Bradley had a great comment. $30, get a NOAA weather radio. Those things can wake the dead. They can, and they're great. But there is a limitation with the weather radio, and it's a big one. And I think it really does cause what's called the cry wolf effect. Those radios will go off anytime a portion of your county gets clipped by a storm. So this means in the middle of the night, let's say you got a storm that's in northern Benton County. Bella Vista, you'll want to know about it. But Siloam Springs, probably not, because that storm might be the only one, and it's not even close to Siloam Springs, and everybody shuts their thing down. Weather radios are great. However, one thing that they don't provide is exact site-specific to the polygon. So let me bring this up again. Only within the polygon. And that's important, Josh, because, that can lead to an overwarning process when you have, especially with the WEA alert. So Weather Call is something, and Next Gen, this is something that's very new to Weather Call. There's also some other stuff, too, that Weather Call Next Gen does that is different than the weather radio. So Weather Call Next Gen, what it will do is it'll allow you to know if the tornado warning gets upgraded to a confirmed tornado. We probably also have to make those graphics in there as well, Josh. Wouldn't be a
Yes,
bad idea.
absolutely. Because
I'm gonna,
it's very important stuff right here. You know, you and I were talking about this too. I mean, I really value the social science aspect behind meteorology as well. You were talking about messaging and consistency on that. I know a lot of folks, hey, I'm one of those people. If I'm in, Northeast Benton County, right, and there's a tornado warning for extreme southern Benton County and the storm's moving off to the east, I do get a little irked, when I get a warning like that, right? Because it's not impacting me, right? But that's not going to be the case with Weather Call Next Gen. You're only going to get that phone call or that text or that email if you're within that polygon. And so I think that's why it's such a game changer. And you're exactly right. It keeps you posted.
So
up
it's like
to
a
the
set
minute.
it and forget it kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And it keeps you posted up to the minute too. Like you said, initially that tornado warnings radar indicated that as that storm pushes off to the east, whether there's a tornado on the ground. Most of the time, you don't get that update from your weather radio, right? You're only going to get that update from Weather Call Next Gen. It's going to tell you now we've got a confirmed tornado. So all great stuff.
Baseball size hail. So if you go to weather and then click on the weather call tab, this is the landing page for Weather Call Next Gen. And so you're going to see something, phone calls for confirmed tornadoes, severe thunderstorms with hurricane force strength winds, so over 70 miles an hour, and something we could be dealing with tonight at night, hail larger than golf balls. So there's a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, and those are the base severe thunderstorm warnings, but this will really let you know. And there's a look at that polygon. So this gives you an idea of exactly who's going to be impacted. So for instance, Knoxville is way southeast of the storm, but that would clip the county. So yes, there is a small cost, but it's like $1 a year. And so in honesty, for having, peace of mind, $12 per year is nothing, man. It's like 2 Starbucks coffees, maybe a carton of eggs these days.
Yeah.
Also another thing too is there's a Find Me feature. And so there's a lot of great things with a Weather Call Next Gen. So here's your 2 options. Honestly, it's just amazing. And if you already have Weather Call, which a lot of people do, and they keep it because it's really good, you can register and upgrade Weather Call Next Gen. And then there's also the at-home user that could be upgraded as well. So here's some of the things that you'll allow. Like you said, we'll bring up that graphic again, Josh.
Yes. Hey, I'll be right back. We got a viewer that's on the phone that Elizabeth let me know about. I need to talk to them just real quick. I'll be right back.
Tell Frankie I said hello. I guarantee you it's him. All right. Okay, so anyways, that's a really small screen. We'll take Josh out right now. It is a great product, and honestly, tried and tested, a lot faster sometimes than Code Red and BC Alert. Not to say that that's another great source of warning. I recommend you have at least 3 sources of warning because let's face it, one could fail, like my internet today. Things can drop off. Things can go wrong. Tornado sirens, they are great for outdoors, but I don't think there's going to be many people outdoors at the time the storms are going to be issued. So here's Bradley saying that storm is moving east. The NWS pushed the warning to include northern part of Rogers. They were correct to sound the sirens. Now, they only went off for 1 cycle because the Weather Service trimmed the warning back. So, and the bucket never fails. That's Brian's source of warning, but he's unique. He's only got the weather bucket, but I think the weather bucket is gone. So, Kenzie, there's a lot of places that don't have tornado sirens. And while a lot of people have this in their head, in their mentality that, I got to wait for the sirens to alert me. You cannot do that, especially when you're asleep at night. We don't have tornado sirens in Fayetteville except for at the University of Arkansas. On a clear, beautiful day on Tuesday when they test them at about 12:30 at the beginning of the month, you can hear them. But you can't hear them when, let's just say, when the storms are ramping up and you got lightning and thunder and winds and all that stuff. Brian? The world may never know. Maybe a storm stole your weather bucket. There you go. Tornado sirens never went off on October 19th. You know why? Because they have to be manually turned on. There has to be someone from the EOC that manually turns them on because they don't want something automated to malfunction. And another thing is that sometimes those warnings aren't issued. So you get a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag that could produce a tornado before a tornado warning even goes out. Okay, so what is the app again? Where will it sound if we are in the polygon? It will sound on your phone. But another beautiful thing that a lot of people in rural areas with Weather Call Next Gen is that you, hold on just a second. My camera goes really small. That's my lovely internet. Bring this up right here. This is Weather Call Next Gen. You can also call landline phones. How huge is that? So if you're in a rural area and you actually have a landline phone, because let's face it, there's a lot of phones that don't have cell service. A lot of areas that don't have cell service. So Josh says it was rare to not see AM convections. That tends to happen a lot with the Northwest Arkansas with a positive tilt. Yes, it does, but the energy is lagging back, John. So we'll show you that. The energy is definitely lagging back. Let's see. Tornado Tie is in the weather lab and ready to go if we need it. Oh, so Kenzie's asking if Prairie Grove is in the polygon. I'm new to this live. No worries. So the polygon is when the warning is issued. I have no idea where that's going to be. Judging the fact that storms are going to be possible everywhere as Josh comes back and he'll show you, that live report, that polygon will be in the specific area that the storm is at. So that's what I mean by that. Let's go through the individual threats here, and I could do that for you real quick. So we'll bring this up real fast. The newest severe weather risk is coming out very soon. So I might be able to stay on, look at the new risk. After we're done with the new risk, then what I'm going to do is we'll shut this down. I'll get ready for work, and we'll take a look at the latest situation. So not updated yet, but I will show you zoomed in views of the weather graphics here. And then as Josh comes back, we'll get back on our weather graphics computer at the station. So let's go here to severe weather forecasting. We'll go to the day one and we'll start opening up some tabs here. Okay. So first of all, the day one convective outlook is this right here. So you're going to notice almost the entire weather coverage area.
It's currently cloudy.
Hold on just a sec. Yes, I did. I got them out. Okay. Got to answer the wife when she dings. But anyways, there's a look at the enhanced risk. Covers nearly our entire weather coverage area except for extreme eastern Logan County and extreme southeastern Scott County. Next, whoa, there's the tornado potential. Tornado potential shows hatched area over Northwest Arkansas. Newest update's going to be coming out shortly. Hayes says he's headed out in about a half hour, which is good news. Wow, that is a gourd right there. Man. Yeah, that thing. Next risk, we'll look at the wind. There's the wind risk, and then the large hail potential. So every single area under the threat for large hail. So, anyways, did you get everybody in the know, man?
Yeah, I got him in the know, and looks like you are a legend right there. You're a good man.
Well, my wife texted and wonders what's going on. Hey, do we have the link in? Okay, do me a favor. Hey, can you bring up Weather 3 and look and see if we've got our latest Lincoln WeatherBug Network camera connected?
I absolutely can.
All right.
Stand by.
Okay. In the meantime, we have some questions about underground shelters. If you have an underground shelter, always, always, always take a whistle or air horn or something loud to alert rescue workers to your position. Or you can do what I did at the game, right, Josh?
Yes. Get a little.
Oh, I'm so
I can't do
sorry,
it.
Bears. Oh my goodness. I've never seen her bounce up so fast in my life. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were there.
Mercedes.
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
Speedums. Mercedes is like, what was that?
She
What
bounced
was that?
so fast. Oh, her heart is racing.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry. She's like, yeah, no, you woke me up. Sorry, Maris.
He's sorry, Mercedes.
You know what's crazy is like this girl will sleep through any storm. It doesn't matter. Lightning, thunder, she'll do anything and sleep right through it. But any little beep that we have, like that was a loud beep, but any little beep and her ears just, I don't know, she's real sensitive to it, but she freaks out. Even the beep of the printer or the copier or something like that.
Aww.
Not the microwave. You're used to the microwave, right? Right?
She's like, I think.
She's like, I'm still distraught here and traumatized.
I'm still recovering.
She's still traumatized. Okay. Hey, is that what I think I see, Josh?
You see reconnecting to the camera in 3, 2, 1.
It's not connecting. It's not connecting, is it?
I mean, that's definitely a shot from today.
That is, but it doesn't stay connected. So click off of Mountainburg and then click on the Lincoln camera.
Okay.
Gosh, what is going on with that? Yeah, that is a shot. No, that's not a shot from today. That looks too sunny, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
I'm just going here, yeah. Bentonville. So it's not connected yet then. Hasn't connected a single time yet today. Fulbright.
What is going on with that?
Lincoln Connect.
Not connecting.
Nope.
Let's get back to some comments here. We want to make sure we got all this. Are there any tips for covering cars that can't be parked in a garage? What do you think? Inflatable mattress?
Oh.
Uh-oh. We got an upgrade.
Hold up.
There is a moderate. Look at that. But it doesn't include us.
Does not.
All right. New risk.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that it's in that location because that's where the nose of the low-level jet's kicking in. That's exactly where the nose is going to kick in. And let's look at the tornado potential. There it is. I said this was going to happen.
Yep.
So I had a hunch that they would increase it farther south and west, and sure enough, they did it. So now, I'm telling you, man, Northwest Arkansas is right smack dab in the middle of that. Right smack dab.
We got to say this. We got to be urgent with this. This is not an event that you want to mess around. You don't want to joke around. Yeah, I know I'm holding my dog and I'm at home, but believe me, when I get into work, we're already business, but we are going to be business to the T tonight with these storms. We're not going to be joking around. No April Fool's jokes. No, being silly. This is serious stuff, and these storms could really impact people. But the good news is we have a lot of experience tracking these. We will let you know where they're headed, at what time. We'll do many updates to keep you updated with everything. Wow, look at that hatched area for damaging winds too. This is a real deal setup, folks. This is one of the bigger events that I've seen in recent history for our area. Now, granted, it hasn't come to fruition yet. However, the threat and the potential is there.
Yeah, that's for over 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, by the way. There's the potential for that.
Which is over hurricane force winds.
Yep. Let's look at the hail. Look at the hail risk. What?
Yeah.
Extreme hail risk. So this is a hail-driven moderate threat.
Yep.
Now,
what
however,
you mean by that, hail-driven is hail is the predominant threat that has prompted the moderate risk. It is not because of a tornado potential upgrade to moderate.
yes, but the tornado potential has extended farther south and west now, at least in terms of that significant tornado potential, which makes sense. Which makes sense with those model runs and where those parameters are going to set up later on this evening, because the nose of that low-level jet is going to be right here. And then it's going to eject off to the north and east, and talk about a 40, 45 knot low-level jet. That's strong.
Yeah.
That's very strong.
It's
going to be right over northwest Arkansas.
Let me just urge you again. Now is the time. We're quiet. There are no storms. You're watching this. You need to be updated with the latest severe weather information. We will be live on the air when these storms hit, and even before they hit. But it's your job to make sure that when you go to bed or when you go to sleep, that you have a way to be alerted. One of the best ways to be alerted is going to be through what we call our Weather Call Next Gen system. Now, this is April 1st. We're launching this brand new today, and we want to make sure that you guys sign up. So all you have to do, it's just an easy peasy sign up. You just go down here and you scroll. Yes, there is a small little cost, $1 per month, but you can't go wrong with this. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. We are that positive that this is a thing that I think you're going to love. And we'll have more information on what it does. But the biggest advantage to this is with a night where there's going to be a lot of polygons and a lot of different polygons, meaning this is called the storm polygon. It's a storm-based polygon, and it's this area that could be impacted by storms. This area will, if you are in the path or in the area that the polygon warning has been issued for, you'll get an alert. If not, you won't. It's like a reverse 911 system.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Josh,
and that's
a question here. Do you think they will shift the moderate risk into northwest Arkansas? Personally, it's not out of the question, and it could happen at 20Z, which is the latest update, and that's going to be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I want to go out on a limb here and say if we do have a moderate risk, I do not think it will be hail-driven in northwest Arkansas. I think it would be either damaging wind or tornado-driven. Because here's the deal: we're right in the middle of that 10% tornado hazard risk area, and with that nose of the LLJ coming right through here, if that continues to uptrend over the next few hours, I think that's what a moderate risk would be issued for here in northwest Arkansas. That's me personally.
Wow, look at this, Dance Stuff Diva giving high accolades. I gotta put this
yeah, I see that right there.
First of all, love the Dance Stuff Diva, but next James Spann, now that's some high praise, man.
That is some very high praise.
Oh, okay. Abby said, "Can you say where we can sign up?" Yes. Sorry. Here's what
I actually
I'll
have
do.
a link. I have a link pulled up right here, Dan. Let me pull this up on Weather One. I got the website you can go to.
Put up internet.
Yes, you got here's the website you can go to, right there. I'm gonna pull this up full screen just real quick. Whoop.
Oh, yep. I'll do it right here for you. Whoops.
Perfect.
There you go. Right there.
Yep. So weathercallservices.com/KNWA-NextGen.
That's a long link, Josh.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But that will take you to the exact website that Dan was just on. And then you can scroll down on that website and you can go right to the sign up page. You can, again, it's only $1 a month. You can't beat that right there. To get warnings within the polygon, and only if you're in the polygon, that right there is a game changer right there. Highly recommend it. It's a fantastic service. I know a lot of folks that were on here were just singing the praises of Weather Call Next Gen. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And if you are, like Dan said, we'll give you the money back. But I'm telling you, it's a game changer. I know some folks are asking, why is it telling me $12? So it is a small fee. There is a small fee that's involved when it comes to signing up for Weather Call Next Gen, but it's totally worth it. I promise you, it's so worth it to have multiple ways to receive warnings. And in my opinion, this is the best way to receive warnings, because not only is it going to wake you up, not only is it going to get you ready to rock and roll, it's also going to give you your recommended safety actions, and it's only going to warn you if you're in that polygon. And that's something you can't get from anything else. So it's absolutely a lifesaver, and I think you guys will be very pleased with it if you sign up for it today, especially with the severe weather that's coming through later on this evening.
Let me show you real quick, Josh, on my computer screen real fast. If you don't know that link and it's kind of hard to do, just go to knwa.com. You go to the weather tab, and then we already have it right here under weather call. So all you got to do is don't click the weather tab, but just hover over the weather tab, and then just kind of scroll over and do weather 101. This also works on mobile as well.
Mm-hmm.
But not weather 101, weather call. Weather 101 is yeah, but there it is right there.
Weather.
Yeah, weather call. You click on that, and boom, it immediately takes you to the link that you had. And so and this is an app too, by the way. It's a homepage. It's similar to an app, but instead of dealing with an app which takes cell service and and mobile service and data and all that stuff, this is a call. Now, it also sends you a text link and an email notification if you sign up for that, to give you all of that, and probably the favorite of a lot of people, the go to bed comment, meaning all clear. You can go to bed. That's what people like when we give the weather coverage. Who's okay to go to bed now? Be done watching coverage. You don't have to worry about storms anymore. We tell you that. So
absolutely. Game changer.
All right. Well, Josh, go back to that risk. We'll shut her down that way, and we got a lot of work to do. I'm going to update the blog too. Oh, that's another thing. Can you bring up that live weather blog? I can't on mine. My internet freaks out whenever I start doing it.
You want me to bring up the link?
Yep.
Yeah, I can absolutely do that.
Show people how to get to the live weather blog. All you got to do is knwa.com.
Yep. So I'm going to pull that up right here. Just give me a couple seconds. I'm experiencing just a little bit of lag on my end too. Then we're going to present the screen.
And the timing for Northwest Arkansas, and I'll bring that up for you here. Yep, there you go. Hey, look who that is.
Hey. Gotta get my mug off there. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you have it right there. Live updates.
Yes.
Click on that link in the middle. The live weather blog. You scroll down, and what we're going to be doing is doing little updates. So there's our live update right now that I just posted on our link. So it's an inception, Josh.
I know, right?
So anyways, we'll update the risk and the links and all that stuff. So this is something new that we're trying out today, a quick source of information, always constantly updated. We'll put the moderate risk in there. It does clip Western Delaware County. How about that?
It does. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if portions of Northwest Arkansas was added in the 20s.
I wouldn't. What would it take to get a moderate risk? 15% or a 30? I think it takes a 30%, doesn't it?
For a tornado?
Yeah.
15%. 15% tornado for moderate.
15% hatched, though. It has to be hatched, right?
Hatched. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I certainly think that – I think, me personally, I don't think there will be a moderate-driven hail threat in Northwest Arkansas. I think it would have to be tornado if we get added to the moderate. And there's that potential. There is that potential with the latest info coming in.
That is a 45% for hail on the latest SPC.
Oh, boy.
That's why it says extreme.
And Oklahoma City's in that too. So I know a lot of people there probably have some flashbacks.
And Josh, what did we say in the first place when they were having this risk kind of over us and missing Oklahoma City? I was like, you watch. The dry line will set up west, not so far west that we don't get storms, but it'll set up west into central Oklahoma, which is not included at the moment, but that's probably where it will be.
No, absolutely. And
there it is.
this is kind of there's multiple layers to this too, because you got another secondary severe weather risk that's going on in Missouri near the St. Louis area. That's going to be along the warm front, along the boundary. And what I've noticed is the problem with that particular area is that the low-level jet, which is required for stronger tornado potential, is just not making it up there. The low-level winds never really ramp up there. And we've been watching it over the last several days, and the trend's a little bit farther south in terms of greater hail, greater tornado potential. And sure enough, now you got an outlined area, fat, moderate risk of severe weather along the I-35 corridor and then stretching east from there. So, this area along the dry line, in my opinion, based on everything that's going on right now, I think that's going to be the favored location for significant severe weather tonight.
Yeah.
This could be a severe weather outbreak. The severe weather outbreak is certainly possible with this, and we're almost right smack dab in the middle of it. So that's why we're about to we're putting on our game faces on right now, because it's urgent, and this is something that you can't mess around with. What's that?
You see who that is?
Frankie Shepard?
Frank? No, it's not Shepard. It's Frankie, the guy that. By the way, who was the viewer that called?
Her name was Lindsay. She lives in Bentonville.
Okay, so it wasn't Frankie.
Yes.
But Frankie just messaged me, wondering about the storms.
So he's ready to rock and roll. So he's already ahead of it.
Yep, he is. All right,
Okay.
well, there it is. Moderate risk. We had it live.
Let me show it one more time here. Let me show it
Yep.
just one more time, because I know a couple of viewers are just asking real quick to show one more time. So I'm going to go through each individual risk one more time here. So this is the day one convective outlook. Again, you can see that level 4 to 5 moderate risk of severe weather clipping western portions of Delaware County. Right now, the majority of the KNWA Fox 24 coverage area is under that enhanced risk. The tornado threat has expanded a little bit farther south and west to include Fort Smith, to include I-40, but you notice Benton, Washington counties, southwest Missouri, northeast Oklahoma, right smack dab in that significant tornado potential. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on that there. Obviously, giant hail is our main concern. That's why there's a moderate risk of severe weather right now off to our west. You can see that extreme area for hailstones over 2 inches of diameter just off to the west of I-49. But, of course, northwest Arkansas and the River Valley also under that significant hashed area for those giant hailstones. And, of course, another thing that's been introduced that we haven't mentioned all that much is now we've got a hashed risk for destructive, damaging winds. So now we're talking damaging wind gusts up to 80, perhaps even 90 miles an hour. That's what happens when you have that significant hashed area for damaging winds. And that includes northwest Arkansas and portions of the River Valley. So all these things are on the uptrend right now. Of course, we're going to get another updated on this at 20Z, and we're going to have all the latest information you need to know as we go throughout the day today.
All right, Josh. Well, that about covers it. That wraps it up. I know we still have 1,500 people. I know you still have questions. So here's the deal. We're going to update that live weather blog. Make sure you check it out. It's going to have all that information. And I'll have another update at 3 o'clock. We're going to get everything done. So, but I got to bounce. I know you do as well. Get some sleep. Josh, you're going to be in tonight. Peyton may be mobile. Zach Gilday will be in. We'll be flexing as a weather team, ready to go.
We're ready to rock and roll. We'll keep you safe. We'll keep you safe.
Right. Well, sounds good.
All right, folks. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your Monday. Stay weather aware. God bless, and we'll see you in a few hours.
While you're in the meantime, get signed up for that weather call next gen.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Game changer. Game changer.
Yeah, they'll finish school. No worries about school. This is going to be a late evening event. So the timing's still about, I would say, 7 o'clock at the very earliest, most likely 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's what I'm still thinking on timing. The big crunch time is going to be right around 10 to midnight for us.
I agree.
Maybe 9 to midnight. We'll go 9 just in case the energy swings in, storms pop up a little faster.
Absolutely.
All right. Josh, you rocked it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Ready to go.
Take care. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.